Okay, cool. So if you have 2 blocks and a blanket, that will be great. I will mute everyone. Just Ava, happy Mother's Day for people that watch this in the future. And cool. Okay, so we're gonna start in all fours. So just set yourself up. Oh, and this is Lisa. If you don't know Lisa, Lisa is my friend in Berlin. And yeah, so just set yourself up. You can use your blocks to measure if you want. I'll partially do class and I'll partially adjust Lisa. So you can watch her if you need anything. But feel free to measure yourself up with blocks behind each wrist, blocks in front of each knee to make sure that you're at a 90-degree angle. Beautiful. And just once you're there, really notice what it's like to press each finger into the ground and each toenail. Just notice what it's like to be there. And we're going to take a little flow right away. So you can do this in whatever speed and whatever way that you want to, but the general movement is going to be, you're going to sit back on your heels. Your hands will come back behind you and you can arch your spine and lift up as much as you want. If you want your knees to come up, you can let that come up too. You'll come forward back into a child's pose. Hands will place down. Your body will come forward into a lazy up dog. Take any little wiggles that you want. Come back through your child's pose and then back through to that little gentle back bend. Hands come behind you. Lift up, look back, and then really just take this at your own speed. Begin to notice your breath. Begin to notice how you're breathing. Feel free to pause anywhere. Really make it your own. Just get into all the nooks and crannies of this flow. You can always change it up each time, lifting up one knee, lifting up both knees, rocking as far back as you want. And just keep going. You can speed it up, you can slow it down. You can listen to the music and let the music guide your movement too. So one thing that's really nice about yoga is that we can use our breath to impact our movement, but we can also use our music and the sounds around us to impact how we want to move today. Beautiful variations. Wonderful. Awesome. And just keep going. We'll be here for like 1 or 2 more minutes. So really let that be whatever it means for you. You can take some rocks with your head side to side and rock your hip side to side. Getting a little creative. Pausing in child's pose if that's all you want to do today. Yeah, lifting your butt up off your heels in that back bend. Taking any nice movements. Letting everything snap, crackle, and pop into creating the space in your joints, bringing you a little bit more mobility. So take one more flow wherever you are, and then you'll meet back in your all fours position. So once again, ground everything down. There's no rush if you're finishing up still. Amazing. Then once you're in your all fours, you're just gonna simply find your block and we're just gonna sit up in Virasana for a second. So once you're there, both sits bones on your block. If you don't want to sit in Virasana, you can always sit cross-legged. Then really ground your sits bones into the floor. You can untuck your knees. You can untuck your butt and really just make sure that your sits bones are grounded into the block so they're holding you up. And then it's imagining that you have a line from the universe coming down straight through the middle of the crown of your head, straight through in between your eyes, nose, mouth, the middle of your chest, down straight into the block. And then you can let your eyes just gently come to a close. We'll take this time to really notice your breath. I find it's a little bit easier to take some movement before I find stillness, which is why we did the flow before we just started to notice where we are. So let that little bit of blood flow settle now as we sit here, noticing our inhales and exhales, and then gently begin to guide the breath as low and as deep into your low belly as you can to really breathe up through the entire chest cavity, and then let it all exhale. Just keep going like that. A lot of class today will be a bunch of little twisting things, almost like a spring cleaning, but I like to think we're bringing out all the things that aren't serving us anymore. So we'll twist all around to contract everything and then let it release. Then have more blood flow, have more energy flow in our bodies and create space for something else to come. So we'll begin by doing one little bit of breath work. So if you don't know this type of breath, feel free to open your eyes, but you can keep your eyes closed. So we're gonna find our fingertips cupping on tops of our shoulders and our elbows will be straight out wide. And then we'll take a normal inhale here through the nose, normal exhale out the mouth, out the nose. And then as you inhale, you're gonna spin yourself to the left through the nose, exhale out the nose, spin to the right. And then just keep going as fast as you can. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And if you get a little dizzy, definitely close your eyes. And then notice if this cracks your back a little bit. This is a little agitating. Still noticing your sits bones pressing down into the floor, but thinking of yourself as like a salad spinner. So you're spinning the wet lettuce in your body to really just dry it out and let all of the water spray off all the stuff that's not serving you, just let it fly away. Keep going, 50 more. Really using your nose and your low belly to inhale, exhale, left to right. Going as fast, whipping it up. Take it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, hook your thumbs up overhead, 3 sips in through the mouth. Hold it at the top, fingertips pointing straight up, reaching up to that line that's coming down from the universe. And then exhale, let your arms just drop and come back to your thighs. Come back to your normal breath. Noticing what whipping it up like that does. And when you're ready, we'll meet in a downward facing dog. So make yourself or make your way there. Not make yourself, you don't need to make yourself do anything. Your blocks can be just on either side of your mat. We'll use them a little bit coming up. So once again, find each finger pressing down and really take some movements here in our first down dog. We're here to explore and learn and be informed about how our body feels today. Yeah, if you want to go back and forth between a plank and an up dog and a dog just to see your measure and see how you feel today, go for it. Yeah, keep finding those movements. Really nice, Maddie, Lindsay, great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Listening to your breath here too. And then begin to find some stillness after you've gotten all that different movement out. Bending your knees slightly, sticking your butt up to the sky. Wrapping your armpits in towards your heart by pressing strongly down through the thumb knuckle of your hand and letting that really allow your armpits to turn up to the sky. One more cycle of breath. And then slowly begin to walk your feet up towards your hands and we'll all meet in a forward fold at the front of your mat. So once you're there, once again, you can just wiggle it out. Your first forward fold, legs can be as bent or as straight as you want them to be. Really let your head drop down to the ground. Still listening to the music and letting that inform your movement too. Beautiful. And then slowly, slowly, you'll just begin to roll yourself up. We're not here for that long. Gonna keep things flowing today. Once you get to the top, you can roll your shoulders out, shake everything around. And we're gonna take a round or two of sun salves just to keep the flowingness going. I know you can't see our heads, so it's fine. So find your feet planted on the ground, arms can come down by your sides, feet are at hip width distance. As you inhale, reach your arms up, press palms together overhead. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, hands on shins, extend your spine. Exhale, just let your body hang over. Inhale, step your right foot and left foot back to come down into a downward facing dog. Exhale, just stay. Inhale, roll your body forward and through, coming into a tuck-toed up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot up, step your right foot up. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, round down. Inhale, lift your arms up, press palms together overhead. Exhale, arms come down by your sides. Take a breath here. Yeah. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, hands on shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step yourself back, downward facing dog. Exhale, stay there. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step your right foot up this time and left, forward fold. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your arms up, come up to stand. Exhale, arms come down by your sides. Take a breath. And just let that go. I know that was not a formal sun sal, but just let it be what it is. And take it one more time on your own. So I won't say anything. You can use your breath or the music to let your body just flow. Really feeling through the bottoms of your hands and your feet as you're moving through, listening to your breath, letting that guide you. Beautiful. And there's no rush. We'll all meet standing in Tadasana. Whenever you get there, you can always take a moment to close your eyes while standing, to notice where you are in space without being able to see. Take one more inhale, one more exhale, and then you're gonna find one of your blocks. So my calves are always tight and I love this one, so we're just gonna do it now. So you're gonna find your block on the lowest, widest height, or vertically or horizontally, whatever is easier. And you're gonna place the ball of your foot on it. Just let your heel come down to the ground so that your foot's kind of on an angle. Right foot stepped back about a foot or two. Yep. And then you're just gonna place your hands on your hips and bend over your legs. Yeah, and hands can come to the block, hands can stay on your hips, hands can come to the floor. And just let your head completely relax wherever you go. If you don't want to go all the way down, you can always put your hands on a wall or something like that. Beautiful. Bending both knees slightly, you can rock your torso right to left, you can rock your heel a little bit right to left, if that's possible, or your toes. Yeah. Taking a few breaths here. Getting into the entire back of the leg. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then hands come back on your hips and you'll just lift yourself back up. Cool. You can move the block to the right side a little bit, and then just same thing, other side. While the foot comes on the block, kick it up, left foot steps back behind you, slight bend in both knees and let your chest come over your leg. Letting your head drop, letting everything that isn't doing something completely relax. Your legs are standing you up, but your head, neck, and shoulders can be completely relaxed here. Rocking yourself right to left if you did that on the other side and that feels good. Oh, nice. Notice which side feels a little bit more tight. Just notice. One more inhale, one more exhale. Hands come back to your hips. Lift yourself back up, move the block off to the side so you have one block on each side of your mat. Come down into a forward fold in whatever way feels good, and then step yourself back to a downward facing dog. Cool. Take a moment to pedal it out. Feel free to take an up dog back to your down dog if you want to flush that out a little bit. And then you're going to place your knees back down onto your mat. Ta-da, we're back in our all fours position. So you're going to find your right knee in the middle of your mat, and then your left knee is going to hook back behind it. So we're beginning our little twisty adventure. Yeah. From here, you're going to tuck your toes and then just come into a downward facing dog with crossed legs. Yeah. And tucked toes, obviously. From there, try to wrap your left hip down a little bit. Yeah, and then inhale, come forward to a tuck-toed up dog with your crossed legs, and exhale, come back and through your downward facing dog. Beautiful. One more inhale here, one more exhale. On your next inhale, step your left foot to your left thumb. Place your back knee down, untuck the back toes, find that connection between your left knee and your left armpit, and then you're gonna circle your knee around underneath your armpit. Yeah. Hand can come into that Rosie the Riveter position as you circle your knee. Right hand can be on fingertips. You can look down at your left knee and make sure it's right on top of your left ankle. Gazing out and down in front of you. Circle in the other direction if you only went one way. Yay. One more breath. Then find yourself, see if you can place your left fingertips on the ground, even as your left armpit stays right on top of your knee. Press your hips a little bit forward. And then reach your arms forward, out and up, and come into an Anjaneyasana. Look at where your blocks are, and if they're not in line with your hips, move them there, simply. Cool. Reach your arms back up again. We'll just take a little side bend. So left hand comes down to the block. If you don't have blocks, you can always go to the floor. I just find it better and nicer with blocks. Reach up and over to the left. Pressing your right hip forward. Really nice. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then just sweep it all the way around. Right hand comes to right block. Left hand reaches up and over. Pressing forward with your hips a little bit more. Yeah. Reaching down with that left hip still, reaching up and over. And your right hand can go out a little bit further too if you feel like your right shoulder is too close to your ear. Yeah, nice. Exhale, come back through center. Hands can come down to frame your front foot again. And then simply lift your left toes up and bring your hips back and come into a runner stretch. And rock your toes from right to left. If you want to put your hands on blocks here, you can grab them and have your hands on blocks, whatever feels nicer. With the back of your leg. Cool. One more inhale. One more exhale. Left foot comes back down to the ground. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Step your right foot up so you're in a forward fold again. Feet are at hips width distance. Feel free to measure that out. Let your head completely hang. And then you're gonna bend your knees a lot. Reach your arms up by your ears and come into a chair pose. Beautiful. Bend your knees, stick your butt back. Look down, see if you can see your toes. Sit into the legs. Yeah. And then gaze up and back. See if your chest can lift a little bit more up. On your next inhale, straighten your legs, reach your arms up, let your arms come down, give yourself a little wiggle. Shake it out. Cool. Still standing, you're gonna lift your arms up, grab for your left wrist with your right hand, and then just arc up and over to the right. So this should feel really nice in your left side body. Inhaling and exhaling, seeing if you can create a little bit more space in that left lung. Exhale, come back through center. Switch it up. Left hand grabs right wrist, lift up and over to the left. Breathing more into the right lung, creating that space to breathe, rooting down through at least the right foot. If your left heel lifts up, that's fine. Exhale, come back through center, and then once again, just let your arms drop like dead weights. Give your shoulders a little wiggle. Take one more breath standing. Inhale, lift your arms up, press palms together overhead. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Hands come down. Step yourself back. I lied. Come back to your forward folds. And find your blocks underneath your hands. Cool. So we're in a forward fold. Hands can be anywhere, honestly. We're going to take a few rocks back and forth through pigeon, through pyramid on each side. So as you step your right foot back, your left toes can just come up and then come back to your forward fold. This is just easier with hands on blocks and you have more space. So from the side, it looks like this. Yeah. And just take this at whatever pace and whatever depth feels good, similar to the beginning. Feel free to pause in a pyramid if that feels like something that you want to do. And the toes don't have to lift up. It feels better to keep them grounded onto the ground. And the next time that your right foot is back, set yourself up in a good old pyramid. So left foot is pressing down in front of you. Left hip is wrapping back a little bit. Whole sole of the right foot's on the ground at a 45-degree angle. Find your left hand on your left block, if not already, and then lift your right arm up to the sky and come to triangle. Yeah, so if you have to fidget your legs. Yeah, feel this can be right. So your block's on the left side of your left foot. Yeah, beautiful. Twisting open. Take one more cycle of breath in your triangle. Reach your arm up and over your ear, your right arm. And then place that down. You can move the blocks off to the side, tuck your back toes, lift your back heel, and then come into a cross-legged down dog with your left leg in front this time. Cool. Inhale, roll your body forward and through. Right hip wraps down, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath this time, wrapping that right hip down, bending your knees, sticking your butt up. On your next inhale, step your right foot to meet your right thumb. Find that connection between your armpit and your knee. Tuck the back toes or untuck the back toes. And then find those circles with your knee underneath your armpit. Just getting into the lymphatic system, one of our elimination systems. Always good to have a good lymphatic system working through and getting rid of the toxins that you no longer need. So giving our armpits some love. Circle in the other direction. Still noticing your breathing. Notice if you're tensing in your face at all. And then same as before, keeping that contact with your armpit, find your right fingertips on the outside of your right foot. Fingertips are on both sides of your foot, hips come forward a little bit more, arms reach forward, 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 out and up. And you know where you're going, so you can find your blocks wherever they are, move them a little bit if you need. And this time, right hand will come on the right side and lift your left arm up and over. And one side of your psoas and the front of your stomach might feel a little bit tighter. Notice if it's this side or the other side. Gaze can come up underneath your armpit too. One more inhale. One more exhale, then come up and over, left hand to left block, reach arm up and over to the other side. Perfect. You can lift your hips or touch your hips a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. One more inhale. One more exhale. Come back through center. Find your fingertips on the ground. You can place your blocks just to frame your foot. And then lift those right toes up, bring your hips back and come into that hamstring stretch. You can rock your hips from right to left. So good. Let your face relax, let your head relax. You can shake it out. Good. One more inhale. One more exhale. Come back to bend your front knee. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee and step yourself up into that forward fold. Same as before, get ready to bend those knees. Arms come up by your ears, come into your chair pose. Yeah, we'll stay here a teensy bit longer this time. Bend those knees a little bit more, stick your butt back. Arms come up and back by your ears, your armpits wrapping in towards your heart still. One more inhale. Exhale, stand up, let that go. Shake out your legs if you need to. Cool. This time, we're just going to take a simple quad stretch right and left. So find your weight into your left foot, kick your right butt to your right. Kick your right foot to your right butt, grab for it with your right hand. Hips stay square. Don't stick your butt out. Try to find your foot as close to your right butt as you can. Left hand can stay on your left hip or anywhere that feels good. Pressing the hips forward. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then gently let that go without flinging. Little wiggle with the hips. Weight into the right foot. Kick your left foot towards your butt and grab for it with your left hand. Yeah. Always good to fall and wiggle around and then find your balance. Pressing the hips forward. Big inhale. Big exhale. Let that left foot go. Wiggle it around. Inhale, arms up, press palms together overhead. Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Find your hands on blocks again. And once again, take a few more rounds of that pyramid flow thing. Just stepping back into a pyramid on one side, coming back to your forward fold, back to pyramid. Beautiful. Keep going. Feel free to pause still. Feel free to close your eyes and just see where your foot lands without looking. And try it all out. We're getting into the backs of the legs today, so we have some more space there. And the next time that your left foot is back, you'll find yourself in your pyramid there. Front of the right foot pressing down, whole back part of the left foot pressing down. Find your right hand on your right block to the right side of your right foot. That was the most times I've ever said right in a sentence. And then lift your left arm up and open to the left side for triangle on this side. Beautiful. Really grounding down through that back foot. Yeah. And you can notice which side is more stable in your triangle. Inhale, bring your left arm up over your left ear. And then let it cartwheel down into the ground. Lift your back heel up, move your hands off your block. And then this time just come back into a normal downward facing dog. Pedal it out, feel free to take an up dog to a down dog. And then let's just take a child's pose for a moment. Knees as wide as your mat, big toes touch, hips come down. Back by your heels. You can rock your forehead right to left here just to give those muscles some love. Letting your entire torso just spread out and down. Relaxing your fingers. One more inhale here. One more exhale. And we'll meet in our downward facing dog. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees. Slight bend in the knees for stability. Lift your butt up to the sky. Inhale, step your left foot to your left thumb. Place your back knee down, untuck the back toes. Once again, come back up into your Anjaneyasana. Hands will come into prayer, or if you want to do fist and paper covering, then you're going to find as much of the outside of your right arm as you can over your left thigh. And I like to find my left hand at the base of my spine just to really feel that my hips are square here too, and it's just your torso that's twisting. So you can try that and see if that helps guide your hips. And then find your prayer. And then feel free to look up or just keep looking out in front of you, whichever one feels better on your neck. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then gently come out of that. Simply place your hands back down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, step yourself back into a plank pose. Hands come underneath shoulders, legs are super engaged. We're just gonna lower ourselves to the floor. So elbows wrap in and then in one line, lower yourself down onto the ground. Untuck the toes, give your hips a little wiggle. And then find your fingertips on the outside of your mat, so on your floor next to your mat. And elbows are going to be reaching up towards the sky. Perfect. Everyone knows what we're doing. As you inhale, you're going to lift your chest, neck, head, gecko cobra up. Exhale, lower yourself back down. Once again, take this on your own time with your own breath or listening to the music. And as you inhale, really just let your spine undulate and come back down. Everyone take one more. And then when you come back down, you can make a palm pillow for your head. And then once again, rock your hips from right to left. Beautiful. Find your hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, press back up into plank pose, and then back up into downward facing dog. Inhale, up dog, only if you want to. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. Place your back knee down, untuck the back toes. You know where we're going. Come into your Anjaney. Find your prayer, find your fist bump thing, and then hook your entire upper left arm, or as much as you can, over your knee. So you might be able to find almost your left armpit in your knee again, but if you don't, just get as much as you can over there. Find those square hips if you can. Well, if you can, no, the most important thing is square hips. So find your square hips and then only twist as much as you can from those square hips. Looking up or looking out in front of you or to the side of the room. One more breath. Exhale, come back through center. Hands come down. Once again, come to your plank pose, tuck the toes, hands come down, right foot steps back. You're in your plank. And we're gonna stay here for a breath, really finding super long from gazing out and down in front of you through the backs of your heels. Then you're gonna place your left forearm down onto the ground and your right forearm. Now we're in a forearm plank. Take one more inhale, looking down and out in front of you. Exhale, keep your elbows where they are, keep your chest up, and just lower your hips. Untuck the toes. Magically, we're in Sphinx pose. Oh, that rhymed, yay. Inhale here, shoulders down and back. Exhale, one more. Shoulders down and back. Elbows, imagine they're pulling back. So your chest moves through. Exhale, let that go. You can lower your chest and do whatever you need to come back into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take an up dog, down dog if you want to. Cool. On your next inhale, you'll have the option to lift your heels and hop yourself up to your forward fold, or you can just step to your forward fold at the front of your mat. Beautiful. Find your feet together this time. Find one big foot under you, rooting down. Same thing as before. Knees are gonna bend a lot, arms are gonna come up. You're in your chair pose with your feet together. Hips come back. Hands come to prayer. Twist up and over the left knee. So your right shoulder arm is outside your, what's it called? Left knee, left thigh. Twist up. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And then on empty, you're gonna find all your weight in your left foot. I find it helpful to look down at this point because it's hard to find what we're about to do. And then step yourself back into a lunge. Still staying twisted. Right knee is super high up as if it's pressing up against a wall. Really great job. Awesome. And then place your back knee down gently. Untuck the toes. Place your right arm out at the right diagonal, so you're unraveling. And then swim your left arm up and around. And you can stay here just reaching back with your right hands on fingertips. Or if you're able to, you can grab your foot with your hand and come into that quad stretch. See if you can find your knee staying straight over your toes. Yes, good adjustment, Grace. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then gently let that go. Swim your left arm up and over again. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then cross your right foot over your left. You're in that cross-legged down dog again. Bend your knees, stick your butt up. And then on your next inhale, you'll just step your left foot up, step your right foot up, and come into a forward fold with your feet together again. Beautiful. Take a moment here just to hang over your legs. Blood is flowing. Cool. On your next inhale, bend deeply and lift up into your chair pose. We'll find your prayer. This time, left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Hips stay square, twist up to the right. Looking up. Beautiful, Lisa. Inhale, lengthen out your head a little bit more. Exhale, twist up to the sky. Really good. Take one more inhale here. And exhale. And when you're ready, you can step your left foot back, finding the weight in your right foot to come into that lunge. Yeah, super good. One more inhale, lifting that back heel. Place your back knee down, untuck the toes, press the hips forward. Beautiful. Undo the twist. Left fingertips come out on the left diagonal. And then swim your right arm up and back behind you. Keep reaching, pressing the hips forward. And if you can grab for your foot. Yeah. Still looking up and back through that arc, imagining that you're following a rainbow with your eyes as you look back behind you to keep that space in your shoulders back and down as you reach back and around. One more inhale. One more exhale. Gently let that go. Swim your right arm back up and over. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then cross your right foot over your left. This time, take an up dog to a down dog. Just rinse that all out. If you want to, this time, lift your left leg up to the sky, and then step your left foot to your left thumb. Step your right foot to meet your left. You have that one big foot coming down. One more, two more times of chair pose. Bend your knees and lift your arms up to the sky. Once again, hands come to prayer. Twist over your left leg. One more inhale. One more exhale. Look down if you need to and step your right leg back. Coming into your low lunge. Place your back knee down. Untuck the back toes. Find your blocks. Place them on either side of your front foot. Cool. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, come into your pyramid for a hot second. Make sure your hips are square. Left leg, left leg. Left hip is pulling back to help you do that. Then you're gonna lift your chest up a little bit just to find your right hand on your left block, and your left hand can come to your left hip if that's helpful. If that's where you want to stay, amazing. Just look down and out. Otherwise, if you can pull your left hip back even more and then twist up to the left, you can come into a twisted triangle. Cool. Really feeling the twist in our upper body as our hips stay super square. So we're super stable and able in our lower body as our upper body does something fancy. One more inhale, really great balance, everyone. Exhale, swim your arm back down. Move the block to where you need it to be, and then step yourself back. This time your left leg crosses over your right. You're in this cross-legged down dog. You can up dog and down dog if that is what you're feeling. Woo! Okay, inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. Step your left foot up to meet it. Let your body forward fold over your legs. Give your head, neck a shake. Feel free to flutter your lips and just let something go here. Once again, bend the knees. Lift your arms up by the ears. You're rooting down through that one foot. Hands come to prayer. Upper arm comes outside the left leg. Twist to the right. Inhale. And exhale, step your left foot back to your low lunge. Place your back knee down. Once you're there, and tuck the back toes. Hands can unravel. You're finding yourself over your legs. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, hands are on blocks, find your pyramid. Really find your pyramid here so you know that your legs are stable, and that will give you more ability to twist. So yeah, take whatever you need here. And when you're ready, you're gonna find your left hand on your right block. You can lift up a little bit to get that. And one of the most important things here is really rooting down through the back leg. So the whole left foot is on the ground, then twist yourself to the right. Right arm can come up if you can. Otherwise, just keep it on your hip and really try to pull your right hip back. Super nice, Lisa. One more inhale here. One more exhale, and then continue the arc with your arm. Let it swim over. Beautiful. Let your hands go. Lift your back heel. Cross your right foot over your left. Cross-legged down dog. And then take an up dog and down dog if you need. We'll meet in this cross-legged down dog. One more fun thing here in our cross-legged down dog. You're gonna find your right hand underneath your face, and then your left arm, we're gonna move into a flipped dog. So your left arm will come up and arc around, your feet will spin so they become parallel facing the back of your space. Then you'll come into a flipped dog, swim your left hand back down, and then cross your legs again. Step your left foot over your right, so then your left leg is crossed. Then left hand comes under your face. Right arm comes back by your hips to spin you around. Lift your hips up in that flip dog. And then spin yourself back down. Step your right foot over your left. And then take this as your own flow. So right hand comes underneath your face. Spin your left arm. Lift your hips up. Swim it down. Cross the other leg over the other one. Left hand comes in front of your face, flip, and take this 2 more times to either side, going at whatever pace. Really seeing if you can make the most of your arc and really take up space, rainbowing yourself over your mat. And once you've done 2 to either side, you'll find yourself in a normal down dog and into a child's pose. Beautiful. Great job. Notice how your body feels after all of that movement. We just did a lot of different twists and turns and spins and things. So things are moving in different directions, which is good. Moving in different directions gives you a new perspective, which is always important. On your next inhale, you'll come back to your downward facing dog. And we're simply just gonna take pigeon on either side. Well, we're gonna do both sides. So lift your right leg up, bend your knee, open up your hip up here and take some circles with your ankle and your knee just to get a little more opening in the front of that right hip. And when you're ready, your right knee will come behind your right wrist. And then you can use your blankets, both of them, and put them underneath your hips and set yourself up for a super comfortable pigeon. You won't be here that long, but just take your time to set up. Yeah, if you want to use your blocks underneath you, you're all pros, amazing. You know how you like your pigeons. And if you can't do this on this forward way, you can always lie down on your back and do a figure 4 stretch like I taught you, Mom. You can do the Ava stretch. And just really let yourself be here. You've already put in a ton of effort in the past hour. So similarly, how we shook up ourselves in the beginning to let something go. As you rest here and you just be in this pose, think of letting go of the doing and just let yourself be. Continuing to breathe. Noticing the depth of your inhales and exhales. And take 3 more breaths at your own pace. You want to stay here longer and make them deeper. If you're ready for the other side, breathe a little faster. And after your 3rd breath, you'll slowly let yourself come up. Do whatever you need to switch over to the other side. So You can tuck the back toes, come through a down dog, take an up dog if you want. And then when you're ready, you'll lift the left leg up, bend the left knee, take some circles in the knee and the ankle. Super good. And then you'll bring your left knee behind your left wrist. Yeah, so nice. Setting yourself up well. Your lower body does so much for you every single day. So doing a lot for the legs, whether that's stretching them or giving them a little bit of strength training, is always a good thing to keep our lower body keeping us up. Letting the sounds happen. Breathing still. Letting yourself really just melt over your legs. Letting your face entirely relax. And take your 3 more breaths here. If you want to stay a little bit longer, you can. We're just going to slowly transition into your last down dog before we make our way onto our backs. So you can take your time coming out of this. Taking 1 down dog if you need. Letting your head release. Yeah. Taking whatever you need before you place your knees back down on the ground. Sit to one side. And we'll all meet on our backs. And make sure you have at least 1 block at arm's distance. Great. Once you lie down, you can hug your knees in towards your chest and just take a few circles with them. You can take some fidgets with your arms if you need. Circling your toes and your ankles. And you'll gently place your feet on the ground, hip width distance, and you'll find your 1 block. Grace knew exactly what I was going to say. You'll lift your hips up just enough to slide that block under on its lowest, widest height. We're going to end in a restorative back bend. So if you would rather take Shavasana, you can do this for a little bit and then move into Shavasana, but we're just going to stay here to finish. So set yourself up really well. If you know you like to use 2 blocks instead of 1, now is the time to lift your hips up a little bit more and then slide the other block underneath you. And let yourself completely release and relax into the blocks. Your arms can rest on your belly or they can just come down by either side. And then really let yourself rest here, letting the music just wash over you as if it's a blanket covering your entire body and you're immersed in it. And there's nothing else but you and the music just resting here in space. Resisting the urge to guess when we're going to come out of this, and know that you'll hear my voice when it's time. So just really rest in this moment and listen to your breath. Begin to deepen your breath and come back to where your body is in space, where you are at home, what part of the floor you're touching. And then gently, if you have 2 blocks, you'll lift up your hips just enough to remove one. Take a moment on the first one. Or if you just have 1 block, you'll lift your hips just enough to remove the 1 block. Your back will come down to the ground. Feet will come as wide as your mat and knees knock in into constructive rest for a moment before we keep moving. Letting your back neutralize. Still listening to your breath. Whenever you're ready, you'll roll over onto either side, coming into a fetal position. Resting your head on your upper arm. Taking one more inhale here and one more exhale. And then keeping your eyes closed and your gaze soft, you'll press yourself up to sit, either in Virasana on a block or cross-legged, whichever feels better. Eyes staying closed, palms can come face up on your legs for a sense of being open and available for what's to come the rest of your day, week, month. Both sits bones are pressing down. Once again, find that line that's coming down from the universe, straight through the crown of the head, in between your eyebrows, eyes, middle of your nose, mouth, straight down the middle of your chest until it reaches down right in between your sits bones and you're sitting up as tall as you can. Taking a moment to give yourself gratitude and grace for taking the time to put in the effort to do something nice for your body, to find that connection of your mind, body, and breath. Just having a connection of all of those things allows you to be your best self, and being your best self is all we can do in order to shine and be a positive light in this crazy world that we are living in right now. We'll bring our hands to press at the center of our chest, and we'll take a breath all together. So let your breath just exhale on empty. Then we'll take a big inhale through the nose. Hold it at the top, let it ripen for the summer to come. And big sigh, exhale out the mouth. Let everything go. Come back to your normal breath. Giving a little bit of gratitude and love to each other. Thumb knuckles come up to third eye center, and we'll end practice with a final bow, honoring our efforts. Thank you all so much. So good. Yay.